I'm Satoko Nakajima, a 27-year-old office worker. Today's story is about a toxic colleague in my office. The company I work for is called MoniRobo Corporation. It's one of the top food manufacturers and has its own building in the city center. I work in the planning department and I'm very career-oriented. Since joining the company, I've always worked hard and constantly looked for new ways to improve my work performance. My efforts have paid off and I've achieved a lot at my age. But I'm not particularly interested in moving up in the company. My goal is to go independent. I hope one day I'll be able to run a successful business of my own. So I'm working hard now to build a strong foundation for the future. I consider myself a workaholic, but I also value my personal life a lot. In fact, I'm currently in a serious relationship with my boyfriend. His name is Shunsuke Ueto, and he works in the sales department at the same company as me. He's 3 years older than me. Because he entered the company before me, he helped me a lot when I first joined the company. He was also very popular in the company before we started dating. At work, Shunsuke is very capable of doing his job and has a promising future. And in private, he is the most sincere and thoughtful person I've ever met. He's a perfect boyfriend. So yeah, I'm satisfied with both my private and work life. However, not everything goes well. I do have some concerns. For example, my company had a project competition a while ago. The judges include my boss in the planning department and other department heads. Each participant would give a project presentation in front of them. The project that got the highest votes would be carried out. I carefully prepared my project presentation. As you can see, men are buying more sweets every year. And as for... my presentation was about developing sweets for convenience stores. Everyone seemed to like my idea. But just when I thought I was doing great, a guy suddenly interrupted me.
I don't know how you came to that conclusion. It's all speculative, isn't it? I doubt if you collected the data properly.
He was the guy who caused my concern.
The project you came up with was too ordinary.
I'm sorry you didn't like it. But I got the highest votes. I guess it wasn't so bad after all, right?
Don't get carried away. Did you become arrogant because the boss started to pay special attention to you?
He's not paying any special attention to me. We don't even talk outside work.
Really? Then why did you get the most votes every time? You must be doing something else.
All that I've been doing is working hard to come up with those projects. Plus, the decisions are not made by the boss alone.
Are you saying my projects are garbage?
That's not what I mean.
I know you look down on me.
I never looked down on you. Could you stop twisting the facts? Why do you always want to argue with me?
I don't appreciate your attitude. Your "I don't flatter men, I'm just devoted to my work" kind of attitude is very upsetting. I feel like you're always trying to emphasize that.
So do you not like me because I'm a woman?
I never said that.
You should think twice before saying anything like that. You may get in trouble if people think you're chauvinistic.
That's none of your business.
Let me get this straight. You don't like my attitude of not flattering men? But at the same time, you're implying that I flattered my boss to win the competition? Wouldn't that make you hate me even more?
Stop twisting my words. I will lose next time.
Okay, good luck. This belligerent man is Junwara. He and I are the same age. We joined the company at the same time and both work in the planning department. He's always been aggressive toward me and tends to argue with me over just about everything. He's very good at his job. The only problem is that he's too focused on winning. Because of that, he's been unable to achieve any accomplishments. Thanks to his ego, I've been ahead of him in many aspects. But that further hurt his pride. He became more and more hostile toward me. It'd be fine if he just wanted to argue. There was a time when all the documents on my desk were gone. Huh? I left them here. Where did they all go? I panicked because I needed the documents for my project right away.
Oh? Were you gonna use those? I thought you didn't need those papers, so I recycled them. Sorry.
Jun grinned as he spoke. It was obvious he did it on purpose. He kept doing this type of petty harassment. What he's been doing was not destructive, but it started to get extremely annoying. I wanted to complain to someone about it sometimes. And I'd usually go to my boyfriend. So that's what happened. It's getting really annoying and I really don't like it.
I see. I had no idea Jude had become like this. He used to be different.
Oh, do you know him?
Yeah, I met him during his job training. He was also in the sales department for a while.
Oh, that's why. But I don't understand why he's only hostile toward me. Is it because I'm a woman?
Could be. Although I think there's more to it.
Like what?
I don't know if this is true, and I only heard it from other people. June seems to be the son of the company president.
Really? He has a different last name, though.
June is the son of the president's ex-wife.
Oh, right. The company president's with his second wife now.
So rumor has it that the president let June join the company so he could take over the company in the future.
If so, wouldn't everyone be talking about it now?
Company president is very serious about work. He didn't want June to receive any special treatment at the company.
Oh, I see.
June was basically told to climb up the ladder by himself.
How accurate are those rumors?
I don't know the source of the rumors, but I think it's most likely true. You can see the resemblance if you look at their faces.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's why June can't lose to his colleagues at work. Could be because of his pride, but I think it has more to do with how the company president raised him.
Is June really the son of the company president? He must be under a lot of pressure because of his father. Not to mention the fact that he's constantly defeated by me at work. I can imagine how angry his father must be every time he loses. I started to feel bad for him, and I finally understood his hostility. I glanced over at him.
What are you looking at? Mind your own business instead of worried about others, okay?
He's one to talk. Sure enough, I could sympathize with him, but I still couldn't like him. One day, I participated in another project competition. June was the first person to present this time. When he started his presentation, I was shocked when I saw his slides. It wasn't because I was amazed by his content, but because his project was very similar to mine. Well, they were identical to be specific. So I couldn't present my project when it was my turn because I would be basically giving the same presentation. I'm sorry, but my project is similar to Mr. Wada's. I'm afraid I must withdraw from the competition this time. After all the other presentations were finished, I grabbed June to ask him about the project. What the hell? Your project was identical to mine! That's practically stealing, June! I questioned him furiously, but he remained calm and answered coldly.
What are you talking about? Don't we come up with similar ideas sometimes? Can you prove that I stole your project?
Of course, I couldn't accept his answer, but I didn't have any evidence to prove that he stole it from me. So I decided to calm down and think over the whole incident. How did June steal my project? I made the proposal on my laptop. He might have stolen it from my computer. But not only was there a login password on my laptop, but the project file was also encrypted. I'm sure I've never shared my passwords with other people. Also, my laptop is protected by a security system. I checked the access history and found no one other than myself had access to the laptop. Could it be the USB drive? I sometimes take the project back home to work on it. And I always save my projects on USB drives as backup. It'd be easy to steal my project if he got his hands on my USB drive. But he couldn't steal my USB drive because I always carried it with me. I was completely baffled and couldn't figure it out. Then, I saw my boyfriend down the hall. I walked up to him because I wanted to get his advice. But as I got closer, I heard him talking on the phone, so I stopped and listened to what he was saying.
Don't worry, no one's gonna find out. Sakato didn't notice anything, I'm sure of it.
What he said was so suspicious. I assumed that he was having an affair. I stayed over at his house that night. After he went to bed, I searched for evidence of the affair. I had never done anything like this, but I allowed my intuition to guide me. I unlocked his phone and looked at the chat history. Turns out, he was not having an affair. But the truth was more surprising than that.
Thank you so much for your help. It all worked out.
That's great.
She was so frustrated. It'd be nice if I could make her frustrated again.
Please don't. She's still my girlfriend.
I see. I'm sorry. Are you sure you're okay with it, though? I mean, you betrayed your girlfriend after all.
Don't get me wrong. I really like Sakato. I'm even thinking about marrying her. But I prefer my wife to stay at home and be a housewife.
Yeah, she's not that type.
Exactly. That's why I don't want her to get promoted.
I see.
Let's do the same for the next competition.
Are you sure about this?
Yes. Sakato doesn't wake up easily once she's asleep. All I need to do is copy the file onto a USB drive. Very easy.
Thanks. I'll leave it to you then.
All right. Remember what I've done for you when you get promoted one day.
Of course. I'll promote you to a suitable position. If I become the company president, I'll make you one of the company executives.
Sounds great. I'm getting more and more excited. I'll be calling you President Wada when that happens. Maybe I should start calling you that now.
Oh, please. That's too soon. All right. Talk to you later.
I couldn't believe what I saw. My boyfriend colluded with June to defeat me at work. How could my boyfriend, of all people, betray me? In fact, I was more angry than sad. I decided to make both of them pay for what they did to me. I came up with a pretty exciting revenge plan involving the USB drive. Sometime later, another project competition started. Both June and Shunsuke were at the presentation. They had no idea that I already knew about their scheme. Finally, June started his presentation. He looked very confident in his project. He even glanced over and smirked at me several times during the presentation. As expected, he presented a project I saved on my USB drive. Time to declare my victory. Surprise! This is not my project. Our department head, who had been listening to June's presentation quietly, suddenly interrupted him.
What are you doing? Is this a joke?
Everyone in the conference room froze. He continued.
I made this project plan several years ago. You're showing the exact copy of my presentation. I can't believe you're now presenting it in front of me. What were you thinking?
June and Shunsuke were startled by what he said. They both had astounded looks that I was dying to see on their faces. As you may have guessed, I modified an old project of my boss's and saved it on the USB drive. In order to fool June and Shunsuke, I carried the USB drive around as if it was very important. Our company keeps our past projects, so getting a copy of an old project was not so hard. All I had to do after that was to wait for Shunsuke to make a copy of the fake project and hand it over to June. When June and Shunsuke realized they were fooled by me, they turned to me in disbelief.
What the hell is this, Sakato?
You tricked us, you bitch!
They started confronting me.
Enough! I don't know what's going on here, but it's not the time to point fingers at each other.
June desperately tried to defend himself.
This is a mistake, boss! This woman tricked me, so I...
But June couldn't explain what I did because he'd be digging a deeper grave for himself if he did.
You guys have violated the code of ethics. I'll have to talk to both of you about this later.
June and Shunsuke both turned pale upon hearing his words. Later, my boss also talked to me and asked about what June and Shunsuke were doing. Of course, I told my boss everything I knew in detail. They violated the code of conduct and stole project ideas in an unprecedented manner. The company president was infuriated by their behavior. As a result, both of them were scolded and later got fired from their jobs.